What's good, y'all? It's Wealthy XP here, and this video is basically to break down the gameplay scenes versus the cutscenes in Xenoverse 3, okay? In this trailer, we have actually seen some real-time animations. People haven't noticed it, but there were real-time animations in this trailer, and that's why the graphical quality actually varies at certain points, and I'm not the only one who says this. Obviously, like, people like President Rose pointed this out. He was like, oh yeah, nah, I think the graphical quality is like kind of role play at certain points. You know, he's basically saying that it could be improved, and the reason for that is because it switches between actual cutscenes and the real-time animation at a certain point in the video, which I'm going to point out. But throughout this whole Xenoverse 3 trailer, you can see it just looks beautiful. Like, pretty much, except for the one real-time part that I'm going to show you, everything looks beautiful. Like, I actually think the Xenoverse 3 graphics for the cutscenes are going to look better than Sparking Zero. They already look better than Sparking Zero. Like, it literally looks anime level quality. Literally, the cutscenes in this game literally look anime level quality. Like, they don't just look like a video game at all. Like, these cutscenes are anime level. But the real time is where they need to improve, and I'm about to show you here right now where the real time scene starts. So right here, when you see, I don't know this character's name, but he's working with John Dragon Ball. When you see John Dragon Ball's partner basically land on the ground and they're talking to each other, this whole scene right here is real time. This whole scene is real time, you guys. Okay, people didn't notice it, but this whole scene is real time, and that's why you can see, like, you can see more of the outlines around them, and like you can see more of the like the mistakes. You know what I mean? You can see more of the mistakes in the animation and more of the graphical quality not looking as sharp. You know what I mean? It doesn't look quite as sharp as it did before. It doesn't look quite as nice as it did before because this is actually real time, you guys. So that this is the part that they actually need to improve for the game, because as we all know, most of Xenoverse 3 is real time, okay? Xenoverse 3 is different than most Dragon Ball games because it's not a cutscene simulator. You're actually playing the game. You get me? So when you do stuff in, well, Xenoverse 2, I should say, because we haven't got our hands on Xenoverse 3 yet. I can't make definitive statements about it. But Xenoverse 2, you know, it differs from a lot of Dragon Ball games in that way because the events are not scripted, right? Nothing is scripted. You're actually doing everything. You're actually acting everything out as you go, right? So whereas in Sparking Zero, like, these things are much more like scripted events, you know, with like a couple button presses to set off the script. You know what I mean? Like, you might press a couple buttons. You might press the, you know, you press the vanish button to basically enter a certain part of this part of the script. You know what I mean? And then enter another part of the script. One guy's video breaks it down a lot better than I'm going to be able to here because it takes a lot of time to break down that concept. But Don Coolio actually reacted to the video, and this guy basically broke down how, like, basically everything in Sparking Zero goes by a script, okay? It's a bunch of scripted events. It's not you really playing the game. It's like you're playing an action movie. You know, you're not actually interacting. You're just following a bunch of scripted scenarios that the game puts you into, okay? Xenoverse is never like that because of the real-time combat, you have freedom over these scenarios. You can create any scenario yourself. You're not being forced into scenarios. You're creating the scenario because of the real-time combat, right? And so that's why I'm breaking that down to break down the point that real-time graphics are so important in a game like Xenoverse. Sparking Zero can get away with having, like, not, even though Sparking Zero does have good real-time graphics, don't get me wrong, but it could get away with it even if its real-time graphics weren't that good because it's not a real-time game. You know what I mean? Like, it's a cutscene simulator. It's a Dragon Ball movie simulator. You know what I mean? So it can rely just on the cutscenes to carry it. Xenoverse cannot do that. Xenoverse 3 cannot rely on just all these cutscenes to carry the game. They're gonna have to actually have good real-time looking, like, graphics. Like, the graphics need to look good in real time. And that's what I think P. Rose and a lot of other people were talking about when they say, like, oh, the graphics look kind of role play, or they look like they could be a little bit better. You know what I mean? I think that's exactly what they're all talking about. They just don't know how to explain it because they haven't realized that this actually is a real-time scene. This is real-time animations. This is not no cutscene right here. Where, like I said, where John Dragon Ball and his partner are standing together in the middle of West City. Like, I think this is an expanded version of West City. So yeah, when you see that is real time, you guys, okay? And this is why everything else in the very beginning, especially when, like, We see the dude is basically changing his outfit in the training room, the grid room, you know what I mean? Like, he's changing his whole outfit. That's why the graphics look amazing there. You see how pristine that shit looks? That shit looks excellent when he's in that room. And that's because it's not real time. It's actually a cutscene there. That's why it looks like an anime. It literally looks like an anime. Like, this actually looks, I think the cutscene graphics in Xenoverse 3 actually look better than a lot of animes. That's as crazy as that sounds. These cutscenes in Xenoverse 3's trailer right now look better than a lot of animes that are actually out right now. I swear to God, they do. Some animes have some bad animation, bro. Like, this animation in Xenoverse 3 is gonna beat a lot of animes in quality. The real time is the part where we're gonna have to try to see if hopefully because here's the thing with Sparking Zero, we saw improvements over time, right? So over months, we saw they were improving the facial expressions during certain moves. You know, they were improving a lot of the graphics around, like, I remember Vegeta's whole facial expression changed during the Gallic Gun animation. Like, he had some funky look. They changed a lot of the funky looking faces and made them look more anime accurate in Sparking Zero, and we actually saw those graphical improvements over time. So I think it is important that people call this stuff out too, because if Dimps, Bandai, if they don't know that there's a problem with what they're putting out graphically, right? Real time wise, not the cutscenes, okay? The cutscenes are anime level, are better than a lot of animes out right now. But the actual real time scenes, they're going to have to work on improving those the same way how they did with Sparking Zero over that entire year that they were promoting it, basically. They're going to have to improve this over the entire year that they promote it, because we don't want the real-time scenes to be lacking. You know what I mean? Because that's basically, Xenoverse 3 is basically just a real-time game. Like, there's not a lot of cutscenes in Xenoverse. There's not. You know, the cutscenes are mainly like dialogue-based, exposition-based, like when they're explaining something, you know what I mean? Like, or something like that, or like the end of a mission maybe, or like the end of some type of saga or something like that. Then maybe they might have a cutscene there, or certain moves do have cutscenes in Xenoverse. Certain moves do, but it's very rare. So most of them are just real time, you know? So it's very important that they get this down and they improve this over time. And I think that's what a lot of creators were talking about. That's why I made this video, you guys. I just wanted to point this out so that everyone could realize that, for one, we do see some real-time scenes, which I don't think a lot of people, I think that's going to surprise a lot of people. Like, you know, we actually do see some real-time scenes. We do get a good look of what Xenoverse 3 will look like. At least right now, if we were to play it right now. This is probably a really early build. You got to remember, these trailers are like, these trailers are usually made months beforehand. You know, months and months beforehand. Probably when they titled that thing Xenoverse 3 back then, they were that's probably what they were titling. You know what I mean? They're probably titling this Xenoverse 3, right? So these trailers are made months and months beforehand. So who knows? This trailer could have been made 3 to 6 months before we actually seen it. And the graphics could already look better than that. Right now, when we get the game, the graphics could already look better than that. Like, or today, even, the graphics could already look better than that. Rhymestyle and Syriax and all those guys will probably get to play it early. And we'll get another look at the graphics very soon before the game actually releases. You know what I mean? It's not like we're just going to have to wait until the day of this game comes out to see what it looks like. No. Like I said, I do expect that Syriax and Rhymestyle and a couple other guys will definitely get invited to Bandai's headquarters, and they'll be able to play, and we'll get another look at what the graphics look like a current build of the game, basically. That's what happened with Sparking. We were able to get a lot of looks at the current builds of the game through these people getting looks and certain events, and certain people getting invited to specific outings where they were able to test the game out and get a newer look at the newest build. So I do think we'll be seeing that pretty soon, okay, in the coming months. But let me know what you guys think about everything in this video. What do you guys think about the real-time scenes in Xenoverse 3? Do you guys agree with me that this scene is real-time and that's why the graphical quality actually looks different here? Do you guys agree, or do you guys think I'm tripping? I'm just taking this out of proportion? What do you guys think about this stuff? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, like the video. Link to the Discord will be in the linked comment. Okay, we're already building a community there. We've already been having conversations about Xenoverse 3 for a while now on that Discord. So get in there. I'm building a community. I want to be able to talk to you guys. And yeah, it's Wealthy XP here. Tuning out. Be easy, y'all.